I got monetized. I got monetized in 7 months, ignored common YouTube advice, and did all of that with zero experience. Here is what I learned. Now, I think my experience will be really valuable to anyone looking to start YouTube because I'm just a regular guy. I started, as I said, with zero experience and I cannot color grade to save my life. And as you can see, I'm clearly not a lissom, lithe, shapely, nubile. I'm not a hot girl is what I'm trying to say. And while I like to think of myself as having a vibrant personality, for some reason as soon as the camera turns on, my soul leaves my body, and I become a lobotomized zombie completely devoid of charisma.
Milquetoast piece of human garbage.
And despite all of that, I was able to get monetized in 7 months with only 16 videos, half of which were kind of rubbish.
You rubbish, mate!
And sure, many have done it in less time. But for me, I was completely expecting it to take well over a year. So being monetized in 7 months with no experience, I'll take it, no complaints. And thank you to all of those who commented, liked, and subscribed. Let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to take you through my stats journey. Number 1, I'm going to talk about the growth of my views, my watch hours, my subscribers, as well as any patterns that I observed over this period of getting monetized. Number 2, I'm going to talk about what I learned. And number 3, I'm going to talk about certain myths and common YouTube wisdom that's out there that I avoided and was still able to grow pretty quickly. Okay, so here is how it went. So I started on the 5th of January, 2024. And I made 5 videos that month. And these were just quick videos that I put out just to get my feet wet and just learn the ropes, etc. So I kept at it, and then after the first 9 videos, I decided to put a lot of extra effort into my Why Traditional Retirement is a Scam video. Until then, all my videos were averaging about 50 to 100 views per video. But with this video, it really took off. I think people noticed the more polished production, but there was another important fact that made it take off, and I'm going to talk about that later on in the video. So this video ended up getting almost 2,000 views, which was massive for me at that time. It also got a bunch of comments, way more likes than any other video, so it was my first big success. It also took me from 14 subscribers to 54 subscribers, and this video was released on March the 17th. So this is into my 3rd month of my YouTube journey. And following that, after a few mediocre videos, I ended up making the Lies That Employers Tell You, which I released on April 23rd. And it ended up getting a mind-boggling, nay, should I say, a mind-blasting 30,000 views. So 30,000 views with a subscriber count of 54 is fairly impressive in my book. So this was totally unexpected, and my subscriber count went from 54 to 435. And I stayed there a while, and I released a bunch of videos that did so and so until I released my video on the Canadian economy. And this video surpassed all my expectations and ended up getting 64,000 views. It took my subscriber count from 435 to almost 1,200. And it also received an unbelievable 6,000 watch hours on that video alone. I was also pretty lucky because I was able to get my watch hour requirement. So to get monetized, you need to have 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So the video on the Canadian economy allowed me to hit my 4,000 watch hour requirement, but only 2 weeks after that, I was also able to hit my 1,000 subscriber threshold. And having met these 2 criteria, I applied for monetization on the 28th of July and was approved on the 29th, less than 24 hours later. Okay, so here is what I noticed. The first thing I noticed is that growth is not linear. So it's not like you make a video and you get 10 subs, you make another video and you get another 10 subscribers and so on. What happened for me is that I would release a video that would outperform the average, and that would give me a jump in my subscriber count, jump in views, and then it would kind of just die out and languish at that level until I released another good video. So you have to wait for a video to catch the algorithm, and I'm going to talk about what that means later on in the video, so stay tuned. And what happens is once it catches the algorithm, your views and everything go up, but it all inevitably goes back down and you kind of just stay at that level. So check out my month-to-month views. YouTube's graphs are not very informative, so I made my own charts. As you can see here, YouTube will show you the overall views and you see these spikes. And because of some of the disproportionately large spikes from some of my videos, it tends to flatten out a lot of the other little mini spikes. So I made my own chart over here, and I think this is more informative and you can see the evolution of views over time. January, when I started, I ended up getting 105 views that month. The next month in February, I ended up getting 209 views. And this is good. That was a doubling of my views month over month. The next month in March, however, you can see I received 2,000 views, and that was a 10x from the month previously. The next month in April, I received 27,000 views, which is well over 10x of the month before. But then my views died down. You can see in May it was around 5,000, and in June it went back down to 2,000. And then I released my Canada video, and that ended up doing a whopping 47,000 views, and that was just in July, and the video continued to receive views well into August and even till today. Now, another interesting thing I observed is that over 90% of my hours, watch hours, so we're looking at 94% of my watch hours were just from 2 videos. So out of 16 videos, 2 videos were responsible for 94% of the watch hours. And the story's not different when you look at views either. So 91% of my views, so that's 55% from my Canada video and 36% from my Lies Employers Tell You video. These 2 videos are responsible for 91% of my views. And I suspect this is the case for most channels where you see only a handful of videos are responsible for most of their views and hours. You only need a handful of videos to really make your channel. But the thing is, you won't know which of your videos are going to be the ones that break out. So just keep working and improving and doing your best. And speaking of improving, I also quickly want to talk about what it means to improve. People will often say that you need to be 1% better with each video, or 5% or 10%. The number doesn't matter, but the idea is that you need to be constantly improving.
All you need to do, this applies to people who have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time.
And I completely agree, but for a lot of people that's very abstract. And I want to talk about what does a 5% or 10% improvement actually mean? How does it translate to real life? And this is going to be my opinion and based on my experiences, so here we go. For me, improving meant that I would go around looking at videos that I would aspire to make. I'd just try to find great videos that I liked and try to approximate them to the best of my abilities, given the tools I have at my disposal and my skills. So I would say to go and find, let's just say, 3 videos that you absolutely love and try to approximate and duplicate them as much as you can. Try to copy some of their transitions and effects and editing and so on. And they don't even have to be on the subject or in the niche that you want to make videos in. They could simply be videos that you really liked and that you ended up watching the whole way through. For me, I focused on developing my skills first, because developing your skills is free. I mean, it takes time, but it doesn't have any direct monetary cost. Things like using music and transitions and using text in creative ways, those are things I focused on in the beginning. Maybe try to find a video with an amazing opener, the first 30 seconds, and try to capture that. But in the future, I think I'll get better music. I'll probably have to redo my room so it's more presentable and I can shoot in different angles. And I want to eventually be able to take my camera out in the field and shoot outside. And for that, I'll probably need a different type of mic and other different types of gear as well. So these are all different ways you can incrementally improve your videos. There's improvement in skills and there's improvement in gear. And I haven't even touched upon improving scripting and camera presence, as I think those are things that naturally improve over time. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful, and now I'm going to talk about the 3 biggest myths that I think could be holding you back as a beginner YouTuber. Okay, myth number 1, CTR and AVD. Everyone talks about these things, so in case you don't know, this is your click-through rate. That is the number of people who click on your thumbnail divided by the total number of people who have been shown your thumbnail. And AVD, which is your average view duration. Now, a lot of emphasis is put on these two metrics, but frankly, and this is going to be a hot take, but I don't think they matter as much as we think they do.
What the fuck did I just hear?
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they don't matter. I just believe that there is another factor that is far more important. The factor that will be by far the most significant in determining the success of your video is not the thumbnail and not the title, but you ready for it? It's engagement.
Engage. Engage. Engage.
That is the most important thing that YouTube cares about, which by extension means that when you're choosing what video you want to make, you have to put a lot of emphasis into choosing the correct topic, the right subject matter. Now, thumbnail and titles are extremely important, but I just think that the topic is far more important. And once you've selected a compelling topic, the thumbnail and title will kind of sort of take care of themselves. A bad topic cannot be saved by a great thumbnail or a great title. So what is a good topic? Well, a good topic is something that is emotionally engaging, such as NFTs, for example. A lot of people have very strong views in favor or in opposition to NFTs, or something that's relevant to a lot of people, like for example, how to buy a car, and that's how you can get ranked on search, or something that is current, like the Olympics or this whole Mr. Beast drama that's going on right now. And ideally, it should be a mix of all these things. And to illustrate how important engagement is, I'm gonna play a quick game with you guys. So here are 4 of my videos, and these are their actual CTR and AVD values. So I want you to do something. Pause the video and in your mind, try to rank the videos in order of descending number of views. Alright, hopefully you have had a moment to think about it, and here are the answers. Let me know how you did in the comments, if you were bang on or if you're way off. There is almost no correlation between the total number of views a video gets and the CTR and AVD. Here's a thought. What if instead we arranged the videos by engagement, so likes and comments? So let's do that, and here's what that would look like. Now this is interesting because if you were to arrange the videos in descending order of engagement, and whether that's likes or comments, that would almost exactly map on to the number of views. And this leads me to believe that engagement is the most important factor. You can see here, for example, and this is absolutely crazy, a 2.6% CTR with a 16.9% AVD. So that's about a sixth of the video was viewed, and that received 2,200 views. Whereas almost double the CTR and over 3 times the AVD for my Why You Should Save 100K as Fast as Possible received 287 views. You can see too how my Canada video has an AVD of 21.5% and received 64,000 views, whereas my Save 100K video received 50% AVD but only has 287 views. I know that this is not a large data set, and I'm open to changing my views if presented with compelling evidence to the contrary. But for the time being, I remain absolutely convinced that engagement is the most important factor in determining whether or not a video becomes a success. And when we observe small YouTubers who have had huge breakout hits, their big breakout videos generally tend to be emotionally resonant. And we can quickly take a look at some of these that I've used for inspiration. For example, Hans Y. He has 13,000 subscribers, and he has one video which is a breakout hit, which is Why Everyone Hates Asian Men. This is obviously a very triggering subject, it's going to elicit a very strong emotional response in a lot of people. There's another creator, Saran Senna, and if you look at his channel, he tends to average a couple of thousand views per video. But he has one video which received 1 million views. Now this creator only had fewer than 100 subscribers when he released this video. Why is the average Indian physically unfit? Now this is something that's going to be very relevant and resonate emotionally with a lot of people. And finally, if you look at this video from a creator called Ask Japan, you can see that there's nothing interesting about his thumbnail. But what is interesting is the title and the subject of the video. I'm a 50-year-old Japanese man and I'm really worried about my future. What should I do? And for those of you who watch this video, you'll realize that it's not even edited. It's literally him sitting down and talking. But he received 1.5 million views. So pick a topic that is broadly appealing and elicits a strong emotional response.
It's about emotionality.
And what's interesting is if you look at my top 4 videos, you will notice this common theme. They're all videos that are emotionally resonant. They have an emotional hook. And speaking of engagement, if you're getting value from this video and you're enjoying what you're watching, then give me a like and a subscribe. Thank you very much. I would love to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So you'd really be helping me get towards that goal. Thank you, and let's keep going. Okay, myth number 2, consistency. Now, I think this word consistency is misused. I think a lot of people use the word consistency to refer to the frequency of uploads. Now, if you're talking about consistency in terms of consistently working and consistently improving, then yes, I totally agree. This is very important. But I want to address this idea of consistent uploads. I've seen a lot of YouTubers just get hell-bent on making sure they upload, whether it's once a week or twice a week or whatever it may be. And here's the thing, YouTube does not give a crap about how often you post. Look, at the end of the day, like, not all your videos are going to take the same amount of effort, right? Some are going to be more maybe research or editing heavy, and some might be about simple subject matter that you can pump out really easily, right? So why would you give the same amount of time to videos that have different levels of complexity? It doesn't make sense. And if you were to do that, your quality would inevitably suffer. And if you are so hell-bent on making sure you publish once a week, you can never get the time to step away and really work on your craft and come up with something that has a different level of complexity. And that's really going to hold you back when it comes to learning and improving. And in the beginning, I could pump out 5 videos in 1 month. But as I progress and as my videos require more research and more elaborate scripting and shooting, I need more time per video. The interval between each video increases, and that should be expected. And you can see some YouTubers, for example, you can look at James Janney. There's almost no rhyme or reason to his frequency intervals. And if you look at the Market Whisperer channel, this is a guy who made 1 video on his channel, and he literally used AI because he did this interview with vidIQ, and he talked about how he made this video. He made the entire script using AI, he paid someone to edit it, and he basically automated this video, and this video ended up getting well over 2 million views on 1 channel. And that is a number of views that a lot of YouTubers won't even total for their first 2 years. Now, I do want to say that in order to get to a point where your quality is really good, you have to make a lot of videos. So while quality is important, you can only achieve quality through quantity. So that's just something to keep in mind. And finally, myth number 3, niche. It might be easier to build a following over time if you stick to a niche, but if you're trying to make videos that reach a broad audience and you have a small number of subscribers, then you can ignore this advice, at least in the beginning. See, YouTube promotes individual videos, so if you have a great video with a great topic, YouTube will give you impressions. That is to say, YouTube will put your thumbnail in front of more and more eyeballs. Now, the downside of not having a niche is that if people watch one of your videos and they really enjoy it, and they go to your channel and they find that your channel has a grab bag of topics, they might not subscribe. But my point is, when you're small and you're aiming to grow, just make good videos with topics that will elicit a strong emotional response. That's all you have to do and you will get the views. Furthermore, when you're starting out, a narrow niche might be overly restrictive and might force you to make content that you're not really interested in. Look at a channel like Folding Ideas. He has videos on just completely random topics. He talks about a documentary on gold, he talks about NFTs, he talks about different scams, but he also talks about cooking and movies. And he has a video on one animated movie that nobody ever watched, and he does fairly well. And it's the same with James Janney that I mentioned previously, but also Tom Skrylius. And Tom is a creator that I've been monitoring for a while, and he just talks about wage slavery. It's all about wage slavery this, wage slavery that. However, and this is the crazy thing, his most viewed video is about how to stop a MacBook from overheating. 3 of his top 10 most viewed videos are not even in his niche. So at least when you're starting out, don't focus too much on a niche. Just make videos that are relevant and emotionally resonant and can reach a broad audience. And of course, 6 months from now, I might realize everything I'm telling you is BS and I'm all wrong. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to revisit this topic in the future. And there you have it. If you enjoyed this video and you got value from it, please consider liking and subscribing and commenting. And thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.